Okay, fellas. So some dude was asking me what my preferred mods were, but I'm gonna throw them out here. But just know, like as you're gonna see, you're gonna have to keep checking on the forums to look for updates. Because since I did this has dropped and it's completely new stuff. So like I said, this is just a baseline for mods that I'm using. You're gonna have to keep going up there on the forums, looking for new updates and stuff, you know. And I'm thinking the terrain flats are just gonna come out for me because I'm getting sick of messing with it. It doesn't seem like the dudes, and it's the Lacus who's in charge of the mods. So like, I'm just throwing a shout out, dude. You need to playtest this stuff and don't just jump into Daggerfall province. It's affecting flats everywhere, and like so I'm gonna say everything from Alexander's Sig is a go. There's some stuff at the walls that I'll show you real quick. So if you want to wait on the city wall in the Fighters Guild, that's up to you, but they're staying in for me. Just I'll wait for the fix, but I mean, it's just up to you guys. So it's the birds in Daggerfall. It's the enhanced sky, because with vanilla sky, it's going to mess up the real-time reflections, and the birds get funky. So if you're going to use these two, I suggest you use enhanced sky. Real grass is always a go for me. I just love the real grass, and this new version you're going to see, it's freaking cool as hell. And a loading screen, which I love the freaking loading screen. And like, just you gotta click some stuff off, but leave this at 1, and leave this as it is, because that's why I was falling through the ground and stuff. Like it was loading too fast or something. You know, I was just testing, but that's how I got it set up, and it works perfectly. So, you know, like, you can fiddle with it. Just know you may fall through the ground. So, and some of these things, when you first install it, you're gonna have to click them off. It's got 2 separate pages. So, yeah, a lot of these things have settings, like, which I've set. These are my preferences, so you're just gonna have to go through this stuff and figure out what you like most. And there's this texture thing that he added where it's got Todd Howard's head showing up for grass. So I'm not gonna use it, but if you want to do it, like, you know, you can apparently make your own grass textures. So that's why grass is cool. Like, it's so cool. I'm not gonna do the Todd Howard thing, but it looks funny as hell. And like, just imagine Todd Howard as the grass in your game. Like, seriously, dude, it's freaking crazy. So, but it's in here. This is the new version, and you'll see this stuff right here. So this has got some settings. I just keep it as it is, cause you know, it's pretty. Yeah, these don't have settings. This one does, but like, it starts at roughness 4.0, but it makes the stuff look too blurry, and at 0.1 it's not too crisp. So this is my preference. And you know, this stuff, like, I think it was the Lacus that was telling me it's overkill. I agree with him. It's just, it doesn't really change stuff that much. It makes your stuff lag like a crazy freak. Perhaps it was Nice though, because he's the one that did this. But I love the real-time reflections, so, you know, they're in for me. Like, they work. And I'll go into why I think I'm going to take out the terrain flats. As much as everybody likes it, and you can mess with some of this stuff. You got field of view, you got terrain distance, you know, whatever your preference is. You're going to have to switch this to get a really responsive mouse. The point filter stuff, which you guys know about, but that affects everything. So if I did point filter for the GUI, it's just going to look like classic Daggerfall. So let's start this thing. And I'll show you the loading screen thing in effect. So, yeah, I was doing all the quests from JH. They're a go. Like, he's got some cool quests. I was doing this Lich quest where you have to go in this dungeon, find this Lich, and find out why he's haunting this dungeon. And then after he tells you that it's this chick, he starts summoning stuff on you, which they waxed me. They waxed me in like probably like 10 seconds. It was so much stuff, dude. It was like skeletons, zombies, ghosts, like 10 things just like that just popped up. So, you know, I'm gonna do that again, and I'm gonna beat the crap out of it. But every single thing he's done, I've finished, and they work. So, you know, I'm just telling you, this stuff from JH, it's freaking cool. And you can just do these quests. There's 35 of them, plus the stuff that's in the classic number 78 setup, which I think they added some. So, tons of quests to do, but they're only available at the Fire Skills, which is cool, because it's a pretty looking place now. So let's jump in here. So see how it's saying to continue? That's the click to continue thing. So it's going to show like this until you click a button. So you're just like looking at cool stuff. And it shows. See, it doesn't start reflecting your level until you actually get into the game. So this is the only NPC I got from the texture pack. Because the others just look too clean. And they look like cartoon characters. Like, they're good drawings, but he's the coolest dude for me, personally. So, let's go out here. It does not look like this. You're gonna freak, because that real grass thing, it's freaking cool as hell. 2.0, it's straight up good. Like, you're gonna see this stuff, so see how it's waiting for me to continue. It's showing my level progress, which is a good thing, because in Classic, you never knew when you were gonna level up. You just had to save every time you rested. Now, you can tell when you're gonna level up, so you can get ready to sit there and friggin' reload, like, for 45 minutes to get the correct roll, because that's how you play this game. If you don't do it right, you're gonna be like my other dude, 15th level with 319 hit points, getting deed respawning and getting your butt kicked. But this dude, it's gonna be different for this dude. So these are the new grass things. I'm using the grass shader, and they weren't working right before. Yeah, this shiny stuff just goes away. This flashing stuff, it just goes away. So, this is a grass shader. It's not. Remember how before they would follow you? They were like sprites. Well, I switched to the grass shader because it works friggin' smooth as butter. You can see that. Smooth as friggin' butter. And he put bushes with flowers in, so there's no more of those funky looking flowers. It's bushes, and you can take the flowers off. So those are the flowers right there. So if you take them off, you're just going to get bushes. And it's region specific, so you go to a different place, you're going to see a different bush. Now the reason why I'm thinking about taking the terrain flats out for good is because you see that they're not drawing shadows in the city. And in the winter, some of them float in the air. And when you go to a place where there's no terrain flats that have been changed, there's always stuff floating in the air. Like in the desert, they're not new, they're not hand-painted terrain flats, but they're floating in the air. So, you know, if they fix this, you know, I may put them back in, but it's not Interkarma's thing, it's the Lacus's thing. So he needs to check this stuff out and figure out what's happening. It's not mod conflicting. It's not a mod conflicting with this stuff. For some reason, in town, they do not draw shadows. And they only show up in, like here, these places. There's no new terrain flats here. And if there's no new terrain flats, the classic stuff floats in the air. So it's just like, you know, it seems like they're just loading it up in Daggerfall and saying, hey, it works. But it does not work, guys. I mean, it does, but it doesn't, you know. And if they're not going to watch this video, I'm not going to post a bug report. Intercom already tried to get into it with me, but it's not his thing, you know. Like, so you can see that no shadows in town, as pretty as they look. You know, if they're not gonna do what they're supposed to do, and the vanilla trees are, you know, it's not that big of a deal to me. So that's part of the texture pack, but this stuff works fine. So, you know, you just gotta go through the texture pack and pick what you want, but for me, I'm thinking I'm gonna take the terrain flats out. As much as everybody likes it and everybody wants to see it, it still does not work right. There's still funkiness, and it's not my game, it's not the mods, it's just straight up terrain flats. So just know that, you know, you're gonna get some funkiness if you use those things. And like I said, apparently nobody else is playing this game, period. Like, Alexander Zig is the most active modder up there. Like, this thing I'm fixing to show you, he already knows about it, and they're already trying to fix it, so. Which it's still lacking, so, you know. Just come back and do this terrain flat stuff, dude. But like I said, they're gonna have to repaint all the friggin' terrain flats for the desert, and it's gonna take a while, so, you know. As much as I like them, because yesterday it just completely turned off, and I think it has to do with the things changing. I went from Rothgraria, where I think I was there the last video when you saw it, like some of them are floating in the air and stuff, but when I came to Daggerfall, they completely turned off outside of town, and I think it has something to do with the season changing. So there's still funkiness with it, you know, and I was just so confused why they just completely turned off. I freaking reinstalled, uninstalled, I'm done with it, you know. I'm not gonna mess with it anymore, period, until they fix it. And I'm not gonna play test it, you know, because if they're not gonna listen, it's useless, so I'm just gonna play the friggin' game. But this is my recommendations, and here's the funkiness with the wall. This is the only thing funky with the wall. And they're talking about doing like a Mesopotamian style for the walls in the desert, which that's gonna be cool. So the walls for me are pretty much straight up. And since it's separate, it's a separate mod now. You don't have to use it if you don't want to. But this is the only funky thing with the walls right here. The door on the roof is not here. It's not invisible. It's just not here. I'm clicking on it. There's nothing here. I could jump through this thing, fall on the ground. You know, so. But like I said, I've posted some screenshots up there, and a couple hours later, Alexander Zig was like, "Yep, we know about it. The Lax is working on it." So, like I said, everything by Alexander Zig, he playtests his stuff. He knows what's up, so everything from him is pretty much a go. From what I understand, he's almost done. He's just gonna do some more gravestones. And so far, it's like 249 things, so I have to hunt some of this stuff down, man. It's just lots of stuff, lots of stuff. You saw it yesterday, or the other day, so it's gonna be more stuff. So, like I'm saying, everything that's in here could be different in a week. So let's go show the funkiness. Yeah, I showed you the grass, right? Yeah, see that? It runs like butter, dude. It runs like butter, and that's the shader version. So no more grass following me around. Plus we got the bushes. Let's go to a different region so I can show you what's up with the yeah, just going up here. See how it turns brown? Just going up here is gonna make a change. So let's go to a farmhouse. Cause in the farmhouses you get those stones. That's part of the grass thing. And it's just freaking cool. It's just little cool little things that get added that, you know, cool little extras things, you know. I like it. So man, it doesn't look like this is a different terrain, but you can see little stones in the farms. And like the terrain flats, they work fine in the wilderness. It's just in the cities. See, they cast shadows and everything, so if they can fix it right and get it to stop messing up the other regions and fix the winter stuff floating in the winter thing, you know, I don't know, man. I'm conflicted. I kind of want them, but like I said, if every winter this stuff's gonna freak out like it did yesterday, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just, I'm getting tired of screwing with it, dude, to be honest. I'm getting tired of, and you know, the stuff with the dungeons, which it doesn't even bug me. You know how they show up. You'll be looking at a floor tile, and they're different in the map, so. But like I'm used to it now, so that stuff stays in because some of the floor textures are just super cool. Let's go up here, see if we can get a different region. Cause you know, it's cool. Like see, grass looks kind of different. Bushes are completely different. And if I could find a pond, yep, see, the pond's got different water plants, so the grass mod is definitely a go, especially 2.0. It's just, it's gonna depend on if your stuff can run this stuff, because this stuff is pretty hardware intensive. And I've got this beefed up, so there's not normally this much grass, there's not normally this many water plants, so if your stuff is not gonna run this, you might get frustrated. And don't come complaining to me, because I'm telling you right now, this stuff is hardware intensive. It is. It just is. If I took this out, no friggin' lag period. Like, I dig it. I dig this, but I don't dig this. If it loads up, it just takes a bit. I think it's the grass thing. See that? I don't dig that, guys. I don't dig it, and those aren't even new terrain flats. Those are classic flats. So, and it only happens in the winter, inside cities, and when it's not winter. So, you know, like, and these aren't even hand painted flats. They're little flats. So if I can only get the stuff in Daggerfall province in like this place, because if you come down here, everywhere you go, you're gonna find this stuff floating in the cities. Every single place, every little town, every farmhouse you go, you're gonna get this stuff floating, and it's just a couple of them. It's not all of them. Like, see, the farm ones, they're not affected. It's just this stuff, and it's the flats straight up. It's not the mod. It's not a mod conflicting with your stuff. It's not the real grass. Because if I take the flats out, the hand-painted flats, see that? It does it to that too. Now, when I take them out, it's gonna go back to normal. So let's, you know, like, I don't know. I'm not complaining, but I kind of am, because it's frustrating, dude. Like, it's like these dudes aren't playtesting their stuff. And this thing will show up hand-painted in one place, but some places it doesn't show up. This is another thing that's been hand-painted, but it does not show up. So it seems like region-specific flats, they got their own number. And they're not hooked up right. And like, I think this is a hand-painted thing too, but it's not showing up. Like, it's in the folder, it just doesn't show up. So, and unless I try to cruise around and find exactly where this place is that has them. Like, I think they show up over here. Let's see this. And it's just the inconsistency, guys. Like, the stuff needs to be consistent. And, you know, playtest, guys, playtest. Don't just jump in there in Daggerfall province and say, hey, it works, you know. Because it's doing funky stuff. See, so this is like Daggerfall, so it's gonna work. It's just in winter, you're gonna get the stuff floating there. And in the wilderness it works too, so, you know, it's just, I'm kind of conflicted, man. I want him in, but I don't want him in, so I don't know, man. Like, if it's gonna do that again in winter, I'm just gonna be like, nope. 'Cause it's, dude, it's, you know, seems like nobody's actually played this game till winter or something. I don't know, man. I don't know. So just do the textures with the friggin' careful hand, fellas. Like, see, so everything that's from a temperate terrain like this, it works, but you know, there's no shadows. And when it's not, when there's no new terrain flats, let's go check out Rothgraria in the summertime. Come on. What am I doing? Just click everything off. That'll make it simple. Trying to find a farm. Because you usually get the bushes and stuff. It's not, you don't have to load into a town, so it's a bit quicker. Big quicker way to show the stuff off. Nope, still the same kind of trade. Right? Nope. See, there's a hand painted rocks. It looks cool as hell, but in the winter, in cities, this stuff's gonna be floating in the air. So it's just something's up with the terrain flats. And they don't draw shadows. Period. So, but like this stuff does. See that? See that? It's drawing shadows. But this stuff, nope. Only in the wilderness. And the grass stuff, which that's just cool. So let's go down here. Check out the ponds, because I still haven't gone to the freaking... I don't think I've gone to the desert yet. And seen the... Yeah, I think they're aloe, but like here again, the terrain flats that are not replaced, that are vanilla flats, they get screwed up, and it's the flat. See that? That's the hand painted flats messing stuff up. If you take them out, they just fall back to the ground, work like normal. It's, you know, it's not a mod conflict. There's no friggin' ground textures being replaced. And it's, I'm telling you right now, it's not a mod conflict. It's not real grass. Because this is real grass doing its thing, working like it's supposed to. So, I don't know. I don't know, man. Like, if it's gonna do that, it's just, and they're not drawing shadows either, it looks like. Right? Doesn't look like it to me. But in the wilderness, it doesn't happen. So it's just in the cities. And like in winter, everywhere you go, if you have the hand-painted flats, there's gonna be something sticking up in the air. So something like they need to tweak this stuff, but that's why I'm going through this in such an in-depth manner, because I just want you to know. You know, you guys can go on there and flood the forums and say, hey, the terrain flats ain't working, I ain't gonna do it, you know, because Intercom was trying to help me with it, but it's not his job to, like, he does stuff in a very structured manner, and he's in charge of the core game, he's not in charge of mine, so I feel bad that I'm taking this time, and like I said, he tries to get me to go through it the way I already have. He tries to get me to do vanilla. He tries to get me to have mods unactivated. He was talking about the local low stuff, but I already do that. That's why I know it's something's up, because I've already done everything you suggested. So, you know, it's just a waste of time. It's a waste of time for him to have to mess with this stuff, because, like I said, he does stuff in a very structured manner, but I do it too, and apparently he doesn't know that. So, you know, I'm not gonna friggin' post a bug report. You guys can do that. You know, when you download this stuff and it doesn't work, you can do it. And I will not mess with this stuff. So that's pretty much it. See if I can get this, because I'm not seeing reflections in the water and it's bugging me. I want to see reflections in the water, so maybe it's just in the desert. Nope, no reflections. What's up? I don't know, man. I don't know. Who friggin' knows? Who knows? I thought that was getting them before. I don't know. And the same stuff's in there, so. You can see, so yeah, I'm thinking terrain flats are just gonna come out because I'm sick of messing with this stuff, dude. And if it's gonna freak out every winter, it's a waste. It's just a straight up waste. So, but like, it's just preference if you don't mind stuff floating in the friggin' air, and if you never go to these places, it's no big deal. So, yeah, it's because the desert has no reflections of the water. Which, that's the terrain stuff they need to, something needs to happen. Maybe I need to change the lore or the real-time reflections or something. So yeah, that's pretty much it. My pick for the mods. Huh. There's like, I'm not getting real-time reflections working here. What's up? What is up? Let's go in this house and see. See what happens. I may need to just like change my lord order or something. I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, that's probably what it is. Just need to mess with my lord order. Let's go someplace where I know there's friggin' reflections. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Come on. Load up, sucker. Is there a pond here I can look at? Yep, see. See? So it's just the desert. Something with the desert. Yep, see, they work. And different plants. Different friggin' water plants. So it's cool. The grass mod is friggin' cool. It's straight up cool. See? No. It's not a new terrain flat. It's just funky. It's funky. It needs to be consistent. Like big time. And they look fine. The sprites look fine to me. I don't mind the old school stuff at all. So, I'm saying, as much as everybody's gonna get upset about it, you know, if it's gonna do this stuff, I'm just not gonna mess with it. I'm not gonna mess with it until they fix it. Until it gets fixed for reals, fixed, you know. Because it's not Interkarma's stuff to mess with, guys. Straight up. So, it's the birds. It's the real-time reflections. It's everything by Alexander Zig. It's the JH quests. All the quests he does are good. Go through the textures selectively. You know, if you don't like to see this stuff, just don't put the terrain flats in, period. So that's what's doing it. I'll tell you straight up. Yep, see? Real-time reflections are working. That's them, right there. Let's see what else. Enhanced sky. If you don't use enhanced sky, you're not gonna get this. You'll see the trees, but the classic sky does not affect this stuff, so it just kind of looks funny. Like you're barely gonna see reflections in the water, so just know that. But you'll still see them in the dungeon and stuff. It's just. Plus, when you look around, the friggin' background just flies by you, so. Yeah. But the miscellaneous textures, that's what this is. And the ground textures, they're straight up good. Because this stuff works everywhere. It works everywhere. Like, no matter what the climate, it changes all sorts of stuff. You just have to find it. So I think that's pretty much it. My list of stuff. Just remember about the terrain flats and like I said, everybody wants to see them, but they're funky, man. They're funky in the winter. It's doing stuff, so I just, it's why do it if it's just gonna make things funky? Because I like to cruise around, I don't just stay in one spot. I like to explore. And if you like that, you're gonna see this funky stuff. It just depends on how much funkiness you're willing to put up with, so. Alright, so that's pretty much it. I hope you liked this. I hope it was informative, but like I said, this stuff could change in a week, because this graphs thing just came out yesterday, so if you're not checking the forums, you're not going to get this cool stuff. You're going to be stuck with the old version. This stuff, it just keeps changing. They just keep changing stuff, so yeah, that's pretty much it. I will end this looking at this stuff floating in the air because it's so exciting, and you're probably not going to see this again because I'm done messing with it. Alright, fellas, hope this was, like I said, I hope this was informative, and you're just going to have to decide your own pick and see how much funkiness you're willing to put up with. Okay, I'm going to go do some JH quests because I'm going to finish the friggin' Lich quest. If it kills me 10 times, I'm going to finish that thing with my dude, who's getting good spawns now. Like, this actually spawned off of something. It's not from when I brought him over, so it's working. And apparently bringing your dude from a different build does not fix your bow, because I have not used it yet, and look at that. So apparently it does not fix your stuff. So now I really want to figure out how the hell that the console command works, because if I can get a new bow spawning, it means that I'm good. I'm good to go. I just need my friggin' bow. Right, so that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this thing, and you fellas have a good, beautiful day, because it's a beautiful day where I'm at, so I think I'll go outside in the real world to do some exciting stuff in the woods, because that's what I do when it's beautiful outside. I hang out outside and go hiking and all that stuff. I'm an outdoorsy person, so that's what I am. I make up my own freaking quests, but I'm definitely going to come back and do this J8 stuff. There's 35 quests, and I have to check these things out. He just knows what's up, he knows what he's doing, so yeah, the J8 stuff is in for me too, so just a shout out. Right, peace fellas.